Hi everyone, this is Jennifer. I've had my flip video camera now since Christmas, and it's it's the middle of February, and I have yet to make a vlog, so I figured now is the time. I've had this tripod for a month. It's time to break it out and give it a test run. So one thing I thought I would talk about in my first vlog was about libraries. I love libraries, and I think it's pretty evident why just about anyone who loves books would love libraries. But one of my very favorite things about libraries is their book sale. For example, you can find just about anything current or old that's been donated by patrons or is no longer circulated there. So you never know what you're going to find, and you might find a diamond in the rough. You might find a diamond that's fully polished that someone else had given to the library. Let me tell you about two authors that I have recently discovered as part of the Roanoke County Library's latest book sales. One is Claire Darcy. Claire Darcy, and this book is called Letty. Claire Darcy wrote a romantic novel set in Regency England and the glittering Vienna of the Great Congress. Now, I don't know anyone who loves historical fiction or romance who wouldn't say, shoot, this is worth a dime or a quarter. I certainly did. I did a little research on Claire Darcy because I had also picked up this trilogy that has three additional of her novels in there, and I really couldn't find out much about her at all. Wikipedia says that she is an American-born novelist from Ohio. Another place said that Claire Darcy probably isn't her real name. So for right now, Claire Darcy to me is a mystery, but I am looking forward to taking a little peek at Letty at some point and getting a chance to see what glittering Vienna was like at the time of the Great Congress. So this I would consider to be something, I think she published most of her works in the 70s and early 80s, which would have been before my time for this kind of work. So to me this is like perhaps a little diamond in the rough. Maybe it won't end up being very interesting at all, but like I said, for maybe a total of 50 cents, I mean, I'm not out much and it's kind of fun. Another novelist that I have found as part of the library book sale is Donna Tartt. She wrote first The Secret History, and then she wrote The Little Friend. I have heard good things about her, and I have never read her before, so I'm really excited about it. I also have a feeling that her books are a little darker, and if you read my blog, you know I like historical fiction and gothic or darker fiction. So this probably will be right up to what I would want. What I thought I would do is read the prologue of The Secret History, and that will end my very first vlog post. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll be making more. Okay, Donna Tartt's The Secret History, prologue. The snow in the mountains was melting, and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation. He'd been dead for 10 days before they found him, you know. It was one of the biggest manhunts in Vermont history. State troopers, the FBI, even an Army helicopter. The college closed, the dye factory in Hampton shut down. People coming from New Hampshire, upstate New York, as far away as Boston. It was difficult to believe that Henry's modest plan could have worked so well despite these unforeseen events. We hadn't intended to hide the body where it could be found. In fact, we hadn't hidden it at all, but had simply left it where it fell in hopes that some luckless passerby would stumble over it before anyone even noticed he was missing. This was a tale that told itself simply and well: the loose rocks, the body at the bottom of the ravine with a break in the neck, the muddy skid marks of dug-in heels pointing the way down. A hiking accident, no more, no less, and it might have been left at that, at quiet tears and a small funeral, had it not been for the snow that fell that night. It covered him without a trace, and 10 days later, when the thaw finally came, the state troopers and the FBI and the searchers from town all saw that they had been walking back and forth over his body until the snow above it was packed down like ice. It is difficult to believe that such an uproar took place over an act for which I was partially responsible. Even more difficult to believe I could have walked through it. The cameras, the uniforms, the black crowds sprinkled over Mount Cataract like ants in a sugar bowl without incurring a blink of suspicion. But walking through it all was one thing. Walking away, unfortunately, has proved to be quite another. And though once I thought I had left that ravine forever on an April afternoon long ago, now I'm not so sure. Now the searchers have departed and life has grown quiet around me. I have come to realize that while for years I might have imagined myself somewhere else, in reality I have been there all the time. Up at the top by the muddy wheel ruts in the new grass, where the sky is dark over the shivering apple blossoms and the first chill of snow that will fall that night is already in the air. "What are you doing up here?" said Bunny, surprised when he found the four of us waiting for him. "Why, looking for new ferns," said Henry. And after we stood whispering in the underbrush, one last look at the body and a last look around, no dropped keys, lost glasses, everybody got everything, and then started single-filely through the woods, I took one glance back through the samplings that leapt to close the path behind me. Though I remember the walk back and the first lonely flakes of snow that came drifting through the pines, remember piling gratefully into the car and starting down the road like a family on vacation, with Henry driving clenched-jawed through the potholes and the rest of us leaning over the seats and talking like children, though I remember only too well the long, terrible night that lay ahead and the long, terrible days and nights that followed, I have only to glance over my shoulder for all those years to drop away and see it behind me again, the ravine rising all green and black through the samplings, a picture that will never leave me. I suppose at one time in my life I might have had any number of stories, but now there is no other. This is the only story I will ever be able to tell. Have a good day.